Hey there, my name is Lindsey Fox. I'm a personal trainer in Oakland, California.
I told them I would be here. They didn't believe. Well, look at me now. We're about to light it up tonight. Nobody's gonna stop us. No one's gonna get left up. 'Cause we're coming up right now. Right now.
I've been competing for about 4 years now. I've done a total of 5 shows, including 4 bikini competitions and 1 figure competition. This year I decided to work with Breena, and we brought a totally different package. I'm super excited about where we're going with it. We decided to bring a much leaner and tighter package, which meant my whole training needed to be flipped upside down, basically. It's been a very interesting, amazing journey now that I'm actually about to step on stage. It's tested me mentally for sure. It's gotten me onto a level that I never thought I would reach. And now I feel like we're just beginning. Like, this is really just the beginning of a whole new journey. Before, I obviously wanted to go pro, but I didn't really see the body that deserved to go pro, and now I see the light. I think it could be possible this year. So we're starting this weekend with the first show in San Diego. We're gonna go over to Contra Costa and Hayward next, and from there we'll kind of see where we're gonna go. For sure going to USA's in July, hoping to turn pro there, but I already know that I won because I made so many improvements and I feel like a whole new level now. So even if I don't go pro this year, I plan to go pro. And I'm going to keep working with Breena because I know she's going to get me there.
Any advice that you would give to new competitors? Like, what if you could go back and tell that girl who was you, 4 years ago, what advice would you give that girl?
I know everyone always says it, but to enjoy the journey. You get so caught up in comparing yourself to other people online, or just like never thinking you're enough, but you have no idea that during that whole journey you're morphing into a whole new woman. Like, you get stronger mentally, physically. Everything about your life will probably change. You just have to kind of allow for that growth to happen and not be so anxious to just get to the top. People who are at the top have grinded hard. I mean, I've been here for 4 years and I still feel like I'm a pretty beginner in this sport. Like, it takes some time and dedication, and you need that time to be able to handle what's gonna come when you get higher. I mean, I always say, listen to your body, listen to your mind. This is not just a physical sport, for sure. You have to be very mentally aware of what's going on with you and make sure you put in the proper amount of recovery and healing internally and externally. If you're a beginner, accept that you're a beginner. Like, put in your work, Don't just think that you're just gonna start training for 6 months and look like a pro. Like, honestly, it's kind of offensive. That sounds rude, maybe, I don't know, but you have to grind hard and earn it, and I think that the harder you work, the more you're really gonna love the reward. I think what it was I could see that she had an insane work ethic. I had to see how she was able to transform her body so amazingly. Like, I saw her in the beginning, and then I saw her as a pro, and it happened, I would say, relatively fast, within a few years, and I wanted to see how is she doing that. I could feel her intensity even by her posts online, and I think I needed that to be able to push myself. When I first met with her, she was very, very thorough, and I loved that. And then she was kind of scary. Honestly, I'd be nervous to show up late or nervous to not get in my workout super hard, but it was what I needed for sure. I took her seriously, so I took the prep really seriously, and she took me very serious, so she was brutally honest, which I also needed, and I think it was one of the first times people or somebody actually critiqued me and gave me the advice and feedback that I needed to get to the next level. So it wasn't like, oh yeah, you look great, la la la, because you're winning some local shows. It was like, okay, you won a local show, cool, that's good, but we need to do this, this, and this to get to the next level, and that's definitely what I needed. My mental strength is on a whole new level now, and I think it's really because Coach Breena, like, she doesn't baby you or sugarcoat anything. It's like you earn her pat on your back, and it does not happen easily. So trust me, you have to work your ass off before she'll say good job, which I really do appreciate, and it makes me work my ass off. And then it also makes me know during peak week when I don't know what the hell is going on and she tells me that I'm looking good, I'm like, okay, I believe her. And so I can relax and not stress out. Because I mean, if a coach always tells you that you're doing great, looking good all the time, even when you might not be, it doesn't really help you get to the next level. So I needed that, and I know she probably will continue to be kind of scary, and that's okay, because I think that's what I'm gonna need to, you know, push past my boundaries. Yeah, I've never felt my mind more powerful than it is now, and I know it's only gonna get better. So she's hardcore, but she's a boss bitch.
I just know that we love you and we support you every step of the way.
Wait, this is a joke. Oh, ow!
It's kind of one of those things where you just have to get in quickly, and the faster you get in fully, because boo, those are only your feet. That's not what
Oh my god, it hurts!
Those quads need some
Oh.
some relaxation.
How fast does it take to go numb?
I would say give me 2 minutes and then you won't feel anything else. But we're only doing this for 6 minutes, my love. Oh, that cute little face. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, it hurts.
I know. Let it do its thing. Because your time doesn't really start till you get your quads in. Yeah! Lindsey! 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 Lindsey!
Oh my gosh.
There you go. Get those quads in there. Get those quads in there.
Ow.
Yeah, she might need maybe a little bit more.
Oh my god, my feet hurt.
It's okay. It's only temporary pain. Think about how strong you are. Think about how far you've come. This is the last thing you need to do to be ready. I know. I'm such a jerk.
Here, I'll go live. Maybe that will make me.
Yeah,
like
go
that
live.
bitch.
Go live and just start talking about everything you're feeling right now. Alright, Lindsey, come walk over here a little bit. I want to highlight this redness. See, I don't get to see this because I'm a little bit dark. Maybe step into the light a little bit more. There we go, there we go. You can see where, so go ahead and just do a little 360. Oh, the poor red bum.
Look at the one little strip.
I know, the one little strip because you couldn't get it fully in.
Doesn't count, do it over.
How do you feel?
I mean, now I feel good. That was pretty brutal though.
What was it feeling like in there?
It burns. It's really cold.
Like you were on fire?
Yeah, my toes are kind of burning now. But I'm getting warmer, I think, or just numb. Not sure. That was some brutal. Probably wouldn't have gotten through it if I didn't have you in my ear.
Yep.
Guys, I am all checked in. I got my number 107. Woo woo. Right now, as you can see, I'm just elevating my legs and pretty much relaxing. I'm in a super chill mode. I figure I did all the work. Now it's time to enjoy the moment as much as I can. So far, this has been pretty smooth sailing. I'll say there was moments where I felt a little hangry and short-tempered with my boyfriend, but he's definitely been supportive throughout this whole thing. I did send him off to the movies while I went to check in and tan, just because it can take a while. It took a few hours and I don't want to be thinking about having to entertain or anything like that. It really is just a time for me to relax and be focused, and usually that's a quiet time for me. So I like to keep it just as relaxed as possible. Check-in was a little long, as usual, I would say. It's a few hours, so I was glad that I brought a meal with me just to make sure that I, stay on track and I didn't get too hangry. And then right after check-in was tanning. And tanning was actually a lot of fun. They played some music back there and the girls were just kind of, having fun and dancing around and getting dried at the same time, which is not always the case. Sometimes it's scary back there. But let's see about check-in. Everybody, there's different groups of people, so sometimes it can feel maybe intimidating by those groups if they're like trying to stare you down, it seems like, or they're all just a little bit cliquey, but I really don't pay attention to any of them. Maybe at my first show I could have gotten caught up in that mix, but it's about you at this point, You do all this work and you finally get to this day, like, none of those crazy attitudes are going to get in my way at this point. It's just, I am the prize. I'm bringing my best package to date, so I'm just excited to see where it's going to go. It's always fun once you get the tan on. You smell the tan and you get your number. This is when it gets exciting. All the work leads up to today, so it's a fun moment, and I just try to enjoy it. So rundown for tomorrow. Let's see, wake up and try not to be a chaotic mess. No. I'll be doing my own hair and makeup this time just because we chose to do this a little bit later. I didn't book the people, and it was just saving some money, so I will probably get up around 6 or so and start doing my hair and makeup to make sure that I'm all ready to go. I just try to keep my nerves as mellow as possible. I usually play some music that makes me feel some type of way, that makes me feel good and happy and excited, and I really just like to hone in, focus, and just believe that anything is possible. It's always going to be a little nerve-wracking, of course, and this is my first show of this season. It's also new territory. I haven't done a muscle contest show before. I've never done a show besides Nationals last year that was even out of my area. So of course I don't really know what to expect. What I do know is I worked my ass off to get here, and so I'm going to go on that stage and do my damn best. My posing is all different, and I'm excited to showcase that. I feel like I do have a very calm but excited energy right now, and I'm just going to try to keep that energy centered in and just bring it out on stage. We practice a lot of posing, and we practice against each other on our whole team, walking next to each other, seeing other girls' energy and making sure that we're bringing it just as hard, if not harder. And so I feel like I'm really prepared to do that. I've done it, we've been practicing a lot. And I say, before I go on stage, I just think about breathing. The biggest thing that will throw me off is I've had shows where I'm just not breathing, and then I start kind of shaking, and Coach has told me over and over just to breathe on stage. That is my one thing. So usually when I go into my back pose, I'll probably be taking a really big deep breath and just relaxing my nerves. I've done this before, I can do it again, and who's to say that I don't deserve to win overall? I really want that sword, honestly. If I could just get that sword, it would be an amazing day. But I'm not going to be mad if I don't place first. I'm really going into this just to test out this new package, just to get my feet wet again for this season. There is so much more to come, and that's not really holding me back right now or in my head. I'm going to go up there and try to get first, of course, but there's been other shows where I feel like I would have been completely defeated if I didn't place first, but I don't feel like that in this case. I already feel like we got really far during this prep, and my body looks completely different. My posing is completely different. My mental state is completely different. I'm not tripping right now. I'm excited, but I'm not oh my god. And those kind of nerves, they just don't work for me.
They really just get in the way, and then you get stressed out and bloated, and that sucks. Nobody wants that. So I've learned that although it feels like you should be freaking out, you really should just chill. Like, you did the work. You should have been freaking out when you were supposed to be doing cardio, but you're fucking around doing some other shit. Excuse my language. But, no, really, like, if you put in the work and you did what you really ultimately could and pushed your hardest, you know that you did that. You know that you worked your ass off. Now it's time to just showcase that. So, namaste time.
Face the curtains.
Nice and slow, babe. There you go. Deadlift. Good job, Miss Fox. Big smile, Lindsey Fox. 103.
5 ladies have just posed. Great job. See you tonight for the final.
Beautiful. Yeah, baby. Nice job,
42.
Lindsey. Who's got some hardware?
Great job, ladies.
Miss Fox, baby, we did it. Second place at our first muscle contest show. We are ready for Contra Costa next week, baby.
So this morning started around 6 a.m. and I started doing my hair and makeup. I was feeling pretty tired, but of course I was a little bit anxious and nervous, but really just turned on my music, got in the zone, and started doing my makeup. I went over to the venue around 10 a.m. and went backstage and found out that they do second spray tans in your suit, which was a little bit different than usual, so it threw me off for a second, but then did the whole thing, got tan. One difference was that means that they create tan lines where your bathing suit is, so that was like a new thing, but just roll with the punches. As far as backstage, it felt, there's a lot of intense energy back there. Everybody was pumping up. I kind of wanted to go away and get into my own zone. So I found my own little corner and just kind of relaxed, put my headphones on. It was a while, but, it's always a while. Anyway, so I would say my prejudging, my nerves hit right before I hit the stage. I was all calm, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, shaky. That happens sometimes, and I just tried to breathe. I went out on stage. I did feel like a little bit of stumble step before my first front pose, which did throw me off,
But, well, mentally, I think it just threw me off. I kept going. Everything was fine, I guess. I walked off the stage, though, and I felt like I just, like, destroyed it, like, in a bad way. I think it was just that one stumble was in my head, and I was like, oh, great. That means that I just threw the whole thing off. But I did get first call-outs, which that is always reassuring and nice. I got called out the second person, which was, it's good. It's not necessarily first, but you never really know. So I walked off stage and I probably had a little bit of a frumpy face on because I thought I screwed up my whole posing routine. But when I ran as a coach, she showed me the video and it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was. The little stumble was just at the beginning and I picked it up and just kept going. It was fine. It turned out way better than I thought it felt. So that was good news. Then I went back to the room and we decided that I will not be having any more carbs before my show because my body likes to fill up, and that was something that we had to learn together. And so I just had my meal with some chicken and almonds and I got to relax. I took a nap for an hour, which I really needed. Just kind of listened to some chill music and elevated my legs and took a nap. So then I got back up, started getting ready again for the night show, and I think there's a lot of thoughts going through your head at that point, like, yes, it's okay to not get first, obviously. We just came here to get top 5. We knew that my body wasn't actually as conditioned as we could get it and that we planned to get it. But of course you want to walk away with first place. And I think what got me most was Muscle Contest posted a picture of their sword and the crown, and I was like, oh, I want that so bad. And so as I was getting ready for the night show, I think my nerves were like a little bit more intense because I was like, man, maybe I will be bummed if I don't get first. But I just had to keep telling myself, like, hey, we came here just to try out this new package, try out the new posing, you know, to get qualified for nationals. And this is really my first Muscle Contest show. So I didn't know what to expect. It was new territory. So I just kind of kept telling myself that, just stay in the zone, stay focused, you did all you could to get here, and now just go and do your best. So the night show I felt like I had a little bit more fun. Backstage it was like a little more friendly vibes, and I was just like, hey, you know, I'm here to have some fun. And when I walked out on stage, I also felt better. I was just kind of walking taller, a little bit more confident. I was breathing. That was good. And I still felt a little bit shaky in my back pose, but it was just nerves. You know, this is the first one of the season, and that happens. So I ended up getting second place, which is awesome. I definitely, of course, was like standing on the side, like, please give me first. I want this sword. I want to go for overall. But second was great, and I'm happy, proud that I did this, that I got here. I was always nervous about doing a SoCal show. It was like this like uncharted territory that you never step on if you're from NorCal. But I did it, and I got second place. I can't really be mad at that. The girl who got first place, she definitely had a smaller, tighter package than me, and I could see the differences that we had. And that is my plan, to get even tighter and smaller for my next show. And that was already the direction we're going, so I'm not, you know, surprised at all. I'm happy with the placement. I'm happy we got here. We really pushed my body during this prep, and we plan to push a lot harder. So look out for USAs.